everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today's topic is one that every business owner dreads, but must tackle head on: unpaid invoices. Unpaid invoices can really drain your cash flow. They put a serious strain on your operations. But don't worry, we're going to break it down. We're going to discuss why they happen, and more importantly, how to prevent them. So grab your favorite tea or coffee and let's dive in. So let's start by defining exactly what we're dealing with. An unpaid invoice is essentially an invoice that has been issued to a client or customer but hasn't been paid by the agreed date. This may seem like just a minor hiccup, but over time, these unpaid amounts can add up and significantly impact your cash flow, making it hard to cover expenses. And these unpaid invoices can lead to financial strain, so delays in receiving payments can stop you from paying your own invoices or reinvesting in your business. It can cause stress and strain on your relationships, so constantly chasing payments can sour business relationships, and it can create operational disruption. Without steady cash flow, maintaining operations for your business can be really tricky. Understanding why exactly invoices go unpaid is the first step in solving the problem. Here's some common reasons. Unclear payment terms in your client agreement. If your clients aren't really clear on when and how they need to pay you, delays are almost inevitable. Sometimes clients will delay payments due to disagreements about the work delivered. So again, the scope of work and the quality of work needs to be clearly set out in your agreement. There could also be administration errors. So mistakes in invoicing details like wrong amounts or missing information, that can certainly cause delays. And also lack of automated reminders. If you have to manually follow up, that can easily slip through the cracks. So what can you really do to stop this before it becomes a problem in your business? Here's some super proactive strategies. Firstly, you want to define your payment terms clearly in your client or customer contracts. Like, all invoices are due within 7 days. You want to include accepted payment methods, and it's a great idea to have some penalties for late payments or bonuses for paying on time. You might have seen that with some electricity bills. And where it's a big job, you want to be invoicing in milestones. So upon completion of a certain amount of work, an invoice becomes due. Upfront retainers are also great. Next up, you want to have super clear cancellation and refund clauses in your contracts. These are your money boundaries written down in a legally binding contract. So we want to know when a client can cancel a service and how, what they'll owe if they cancel, whether they're getting a refund, a partial refund, or $0 back, and what happens if they cancel or reschedule. In short, these terms, they're like your safety net. That way, your clients will know the deal and you'll have a legal leg to stand on. You could say things like, if you wish to cancel, you must provide at least 14 days written notice. Simple, fair, gives you time to replace them. You could also say, no refunds are provided for change of mind. Or if cancelled within 7 days of the service start date, a 50% fee applies. That's your buffer. You've blocked off your calendar for them, so this can help protect your income. You also want to be super clear that your deposit is non-refundable if it is. Why? Because you've locked in that time and maybe even started work already. Some other things you could include could be like a flat admin fee if cancellation means extra admin or rescheduling. Totally optional, but handy. You could also say that where work has already commenced, you will be invoiced for time spent to date. This means if they ghost you or just disappear mid-project, you're still getting paid for the work that you've done. So that's your contract, your ground rules when it comes to invoices. So what then? Now you want to ensure that every invoice is detailed and error-free. Make sure it complies with the tax requirements, which you can find on the ATO website. And you want to invoice promptly. If you delay, it sometimes gives the impression that the payment isn't urgent. So even with the best foundations in place, Sometimes payments will still be late. I know, but here's some ways you can manage this without burning all your bridges. Ensure you use invoicing software to send automatic reminders before and after the due date. This can reduce the awkwardness of manually chasing payments. You could also have email templates that help you when you need to get them out. You could offer discounts or other perks for prompt payment or early payment. This not only encourages it, but also builds goodwill. You can even have late fee clauses in your contracts. That makes the cost of delay really clear to your clients from the start. So when following up with your invoices, always keep your tone professional and courteous. Sometimes a polite reminder is all it takes to nudge someone into action. You could also consider changing your requested payment plans. Can you invoice a substantial deposit early on, for example? Change them over to paying a retainer, maybe even an advance? Can you consider a subscription type service? Now, technology can be a huge ally in the fight against unpaid invoices. There's so many tools out there that can automate much of the process. Software like QuickBooks, Xero, they not only manage your invoices, but also send out automated reminders and track payment status. If you invest in such tools, that can save you time, reduce errors, and ultimately protect your bottom line. You also want to make sure that your T's and C's with clients are up to date and crystal clear. They're your roadmap for ensuring timely payments and can include the payment process, late fees, bonuses, and dispute resolution clauses if you still don't get payment. Just make sure all your T's and C's are compliant with the Australian consumer law, particularly when it comes to those cancellations and refunds. Now, plenty of my clients have struggled with unpaid invoices, but when they implement these types of things, their cash flow improves and it certainly gives them far less stress. So at the end of the day, unpaid invoices are not just a worry, they seriously impact your business's health. By setting super clear payment terms, using professional invoicing tools, establishing a robust follow-up process, you can dramatically reduce the risk of losing money to unpaid invoices. Remember, every invoice paid on time is a step towards healthier cash flow and a more stable, sustainable business. If you found these tips helpful, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with your fellow business owners, and subscribe for more practical advice on managing your business finances. And if you have any questions or success stories to share about overcoming unpaid invoices, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you.